Hey folks, Dave from Nerdarchy, for nerds, by nerds, hanging out with this nerd.
Nerdarchy is dead.
What's up, my nerdy peoples? So, I don't know if anyone's going to actually be watching today. I don't know if there's anybody out there. I don't know. Wizards of the Coast is like this big thing going on, so
if some of you are interested in the sum that's happening out there, you know, cool.
There's anybody out there.
But appreciate that you guys are choosing to hang out with us instead of, you know, checking
both
out
of you. We see you guys out there. We really appreciate you.
And I know some of you, according to the chatter, are trying to do both. So
yeah, I actually just turned off the stream to come over here. Ted's like, we have a thing we're doing. I'm like, my Twitter girlfriend Satine is DMing right now, Ted. Sorry. We also had Jason Charles Miller was on as well. He's like one name away from being a serial killer. But one first name away from being a serial killer.
All right, but he's pretty awesome.
He's a good dude. He was fun to have on. Actually, I'm hoping to catch him when he does, hits the East Coast when he tours with his band.
Well, I mean,
it'd be kind of cool.
We met him when we went out to California.
We did,
and when we were, after the Game of Thrones show was over, like, I was chatting him up, and
I was basically raped by his dog.
But the man's credentials are awesome and amazing, and I got to see.
He's got like gold records on his wall.
Well, yeah, but got to see him in action in video games, and you got to see him as a guest on Critical Role, and now he's in Satine's game. He's just awesome guy.
Jason S. I just watched you guys on GM Tips with Satine Phoenix. Awesome. Yeah, we did that. It feels like forever ago. It's almost a year ago.
Yeah.
It'll be next month, and the next month will be a year.
Yeah, we went out there last July, and it does not seem like it. I'm like, I was only a handful of months ago, right? An entire school year is in between.
Oh, snap. Frigginator says it qualifies because he went to school with someone whose first name was Miller. Yeah, but like you said, he's a good dude. He was fun to have on. I would love to have him on again. He's doing some cool things over at GM. It's really cool. I'm so jealous of the folks at the Sum, man. I was like, I should have went out there.
Prices were pretty steep, though.
Yeah, I know. And it's only Sunday, so that you could get in. I don't know if I could be like, I'm Nerdarchy, let me in.
Please.
Get out of here, scrub.
This is Nerdarchy nonsense.
But yeah, it looks like they're having a lot of fun. The sets look awesome, amazing. We got the first announcement. Nerdarchy through Nerdator Doug already got an article up about that announcement as to what the first Dragon Heist is going to be. The next adventure. It's going to be city based. There's a lot of stuff.
Deep. I mean, that's it's a good city to run urban encounters in. So I thought I was pretty happy. The picture doesn't have Jarlaxle right there on the cover. Is that what I saw?
Yeah, there's Jaraxle. Who else is on the cover? There's a couple people. Like Volo's going to be in there. So there's going to be a lot of cool stuff. I mean, sure, there's going to be like Lords of Waterdeep. I don't know. I never really spent a lot of time playing in the Forgotten Realms. Most of what I know of Forgotten Realms is more from reading novels, and I don't feel like many of the books that I read were actually took place in Waterdeep, or it was just like briefly through there.
Yeah. It's a stopover for a lot of places. To me, Jarlaxle's my favorite drow. So seeing him right there, smack that in the middle of the cover, is like, that's awesome. I thought the beginning of the Stream of Eyes was pretty awesome when they're walking around their own Waterdeep and talking to these different vendors and actors and what have you, and it was just like it was an amazing, well put together set. They talked about the crate box that's gonna have like this mega adventure in it with all the components that you need to run it, miniatures and handouts and what have you. And there's a lot of comments in the chat about like, that looks amazing. And then see
the price
stream of people complaining about the price. And it's like, whoa.
Yeah.
So like I went and looked at it, and they're like, man, I wish there was a a crate service for fantasy gaming, and I'm like, dude, there's 3 of them.
I think there's more than that.
Well, there's 3. There's 3 that I know of, and I think Mythhorde is based out of the UK. And then I mean,
Realm Smith, they recently launched one. They got the guys from AbTab over there writing for them. They're putting like minis to paint and stuff in there. So like, there's a whole kit there.
I just got an email from them talking about that, but it didn't strike to me as like a monthly service. It was like, oh well, we've got this thing and we've got that, this thing. There was one about painting a troll and one about painting a wizard. And the troll was 50 and the wizard was 100.
Yeah, they're partnered up with WizKids, and they're like whole packs. So I think it's going to be a monthly thing, and then they'll probably do stuff on their channel and their website that kind of coincides. So they do some cool stuff over there. Matter of fact, they do like paint and takeaways as well. And when I'm at Origins, I'm supposed to be. We actually are probably going to stream it. It's like from 2 to 4. I'm going to say Wednesday, but I could be wrong. And me and actually I'm going to get your sister to do it as well. She might not be on camera, but I'm going to have her paint with me. So we'll be painting in MIDI. I'm like, I'll do it as long as it doesn't have to be done well.
Wow. It'll be interesting to see what you come back with, because
they're going to be like, I don't understand how you have so much paint on your hands and none on the mini. It's like you would think by accident you would have smudged something on there or hit it with the brush, missing your finger. No.
Holding the mini here, painting the hand and the arm. But yeah, so that would be something that I would love doing. I mean, there's so many layers of painting that I just don't have in my my wheelhouse yet. So really need to get time and energy spent going in that, considering how much Reaper stuff I've picked up over the years.
James Leslie, I want to see the table after you're done, Dave.
Well, maybe we can convince him or somebody to take his phone and take some pictures, so we can. We can
I'm
share.
Sure we'll figure something out.
You could get a pretty humorous blow by blow article up on the website after you get back.
Something. We'll figure out what happens. T-Town with Toby wants to know, do you prefer to paint big minis or little minis? I think that question's for you, Ted.
I would prefer to paint something more large, like if you're talking about the typical D&D size minis, something large is a good scale, because it's not so massive that you're huge or gargantuan that you've got all this paint that you need to do, but it's big enough that you can paint the details easier, if that makes any sense. But I did I'm not done. I'm 90% done. The Fang Maw mini that came with Bones 3. I picked up one of those several weeks ago before I got sick. I wound up putting a handful of hours into that. I thought it came out good, but I still have to learn how to wash and send it through the wash before I seal it.
So a couple questions about the Stream of Many Eyes. Obviously, we're mods in the chat over there, so you'll see us in there from time to time. So yes, we obviously have been watching. Last night I watched up to into the beginning of Grey Force, and we also will have Jake's going to be over there with us, as well as Ted, myself, and Nerdarchy Doug. We're all just under Nerdarchy, though, so you'll never know who you're really talking to.
Unless, they make some kind of comment. Like, I was talking to somebody, Silent Dante. I don't know if you're, in this chat as well, but, he was like, Ted needs to be in more videos. And I'm like, I'm already in almost all the videos.
Pretty much all the videos. I mean, other than the live chats, and sometimes you get Ted there, too, as well.
Yeah, I mean, I did 2 of them this week and had a lot of fun with them.
Yeah, I had something to do Thursday and had to do adulting, and then either it was Thursday. You were like, "Hey, do you mind if I jump on Friday?" I'm like, "You can do Friday if you want, because it's like steampunk and board games."
Steampunk board game. I'm like, "Yeah, I'll get in on that." And he's like, "Well, if you want to take it, just take it." And I'm like, "Woohoo!"
Yeah, so I'd watched a little bit and jumped in the chat from here and there.
Yeah, I saw that you were in there. You were posting some questions and whatnot.
Yeah, because the game kind of sounds a little like might have borrowed a little bit from Dark City. So, which I'm a huge fan of. It was a great movie. Zaref Gaming question: out of all the villains that you know about in Dragon Heist, which one would you want to use? I don't know how many they actually mentioned. I mean, anybody that's connected to Waterdeep could really be there, you know. And I feel like, you know, for us, we always like to make our own stuff, so we would probably be more interested in probably using our own villains in that kind of setting, or reskinning one of the ones that already exists and doing something with it.
A friend of mine from college, he loved using Forgotten Realms, but because there was so much information between novels and you know, the campaign setting itself, he did a mixture of homebrew and Forgotten Realms that he would call Spotto Realms. And this way, like, you couldn't come up and say, oh, but this guy's supposed to be here, or you got that fact wrong. And it was, you know, just his take on it. And if I were to wind up, you know, using a setting, regardless of what it is, I would still wind up making some tweaks and changes of my own to really make the campaign that I want to run feel more like mine.
Well, one of the, you know, the interesting things they're talking about too is the fact that, like, hey, if you don't remember everything, that's fine. Or we left blank spaces so you can kind of fill them in and do your own stuff. So there's definitely that going on. So you'll be able to do that. They said something about like some kind of tavern builder generator, which I'm kind of intrigued about. They talked about having, you know, new downtime activities. So I'm really interested in this new adventure because it's going to be a great place to steal things from. And it's funny too because Cody, like the day before, put out a video about, you know, how Wizards is doing, and Pathfinder has done all these like world-shattering, world-ending, catastrophe-type adventures, you know, and the premise of the video is it's okay to do more intimate, more, you know, localized type adventures, and now that's what they're getting. That's what you're getting, and it looks like it's going to be more sandboxy. You know, the way it's designed, and you know, and it's not about saving the world. It's about maybe a bunch of adventures that are just in this localized area, and it's probably going to be a great tool if you want to know how to do urban adventures and things like that. And that's what I feel like Wizards of the Coast has been really doing really well with all the adventures they put out. It's like, oh, here's what something in the Underdark might look like. Here is a hex crawl in the jungles of Chol with dinosaurs might look like. So they really are giving us like this really diverse.
You got an array to work with.
Yeah, it's, you know, these diverse adventures that we can pick and choose from. So this one would probably be cool because there's gonna be a lot of things that cherry pick in it.
So I want to give a shout out to XVDVN2. It's the first time looking into one of our live streams. So welcome, glad to have you here.
Cool, awesome. I'm sorry, I got distracted by something else. But in the chat, no, we're always happy to have people here for the first time. So, you know, someone just asked about the Mike Morrow's Happy Fun Time. He had a huge slip in there, and why aren't there reaction videos to it? Mainly because we used to do our filming on Fridays, and that's when he would do them. So we would just not be around for that stuff, and it's not in my conscious yet to watch it. And also, a lot of times we're watching Critical Role.
Because it comes out on Thursdays, we watch it Fridays to be able to
film it today. Yeah, there's just there's too much D&D going on to watch everything. I mean, and in case you guys didn't realize or didn't realize, forgot, whatever, we are going to be giving away and picking our winners. We've already picked the winners, so the first 3 will be getting the special cover. The last 2, you will just be getting the normal cover.
But hey, we have 5 copies to give away to our awesome fans out there who took part in the Gleam contest. We had almost 10,000 entries. You know, you guys were close. I was really hoping to get up to 10K on that one. But yeah, so at some point in time before we end this in the next 45 minutes, I will give out the list of names, the list of winners. We also have our monthly giveaway, which is the Open Legend core book and the and the cards to go with it. You got the Bane deck and the Boon deck, so you can have lots of fun with those. So we'll do that at some point in time.
Yeah, so that is coming up in the near future. Now, the Mordenkainens, that was just a Gleam contest. Anyone was eligible to be in that one. For the Open Legend stuff, for our monthly giveaway, that is, if you're so happen to be a patron, we automatically enter your name into that contest. If you're not a patron, there's a section on our website where you go and you fill out, you download a slip, fill it out, and you mail it to us. The address is over there, and then you can be entered that way as well. So,
and this is something that we do just because we want to reward you guys, our awesome fans, for supporting us and sticking with us. Has no affiliation to Patreon or to YouTube or to pretty much anything besides Nerdarchy, and we do ship worldwide. So there you go.
Yes, actually, 2 of our winners today are international.
And I don't know where our monthly giveaway is until I reach out to them.
We're going to be sending something to Japan for the first time. And we also got something going to the Netherlands. I don't know if we've sent to the Netherlands or not. That one we may have.
I don't know. I'm the one who does all the shipping. So all I know is I got to find that stack of custom forms I'll have to fill out.
Oh.
It's not bad. I mean, it's not like it's that big of an ordeal. But when I roll up there with like, okay, I got 6 packages to mail out. They're like, oh, look at that. It's usually not that way. It's usually just the one a month.
Tea time with Toby, not the UK. I cry. Braxoid. Oh well, now I know. I guess we let slip a spoiler, because if you're not in the US, if you're not in Japan, and you're not in the Netherlands.
There you go.
But there's still the monthly giveaway.
There's still the Open Legend stuff.
So if you happen to have sent us a slip, or you happen to be one of our awesome patrons, then there's still hope.
Now, what about if somebody supports us on there, but they don't think they're awesome?
I don't know. Well, we think they're awesome. That's all that matters. Poison question regarding Mordenkainen's Tome of Foes. Are Tieflings using the new subraces aware of their lineage? I'm playing on the new campaign. The idea of so I would like that's something for you and your DM to discuss and to come up with, and it just depends. Like, I would think most of the time they might not know. They might not know where they're from. Yeah, where their lineage is.
If your lineage says, oh well, I'm related to the Garatsu, and you have no clue what that means to what you're going to look like, but you decide it's important to you when you look into it, maybe you can find something out. If you got a lineage towards the Demon Lords, that might be something vastly different. And there's probably, someone who's, whether you know about it or not, watching over you, because, you've got, an Archdevil or a Demon Lord, that spawned you.
So let's see. We got a couple questions. Random question, guys. But does anyone know how to get a kitten that's stuck in a car out? A really powerful vacuum cleaner, maybe.
I would have to know the particulars, but if it's a kitten and it's like stuck down in something, you're gonna get your arms probably clawed up. But go in and just go after it. Close the doors and give one exit area, and maybe it'll run out.
So Mark wants to know, is Nate covering the Stream of Many Eyes live stream for later review? I don't think so. I think Nate's on vacation someplace right now, undisclosed location.
I think we haven't talked to him, or I haven't seen him in 2 weeks, and I don't know if I've talked to him in that time frame.
He could be dead.
I don't think so. I think we would know.
We're gonna have to go on an adventure and find Nate and rescue him.
I received a invitation to a family birthday party. That's I think next weekend. But
all right, so you'll find out. Yeah. So we do not think so. Are you guys enjoying the Stream of Many Eyes? If you're watching it, I know Sirens of the Realms are on right now.
Yeah,
Josh on Journey. Question: do you guys have a long-term plan for getting to the point where both you and Ted do Nerdarchy full-time? What about Nate? And Doug wants a cubicle. Darn it.
Well, I think things are working towards the end to get, closer to having Doug get
We
his
do have a
cubicle.
plan. Make more money.
So we need you to go find, 10,000 more fans, get them all to sign up for our Patreon, and then I think, then we'll be set. Can you make that happen in the next hour?
So, no, we do have some things. Like, we definitely want to do more products. We have some cool ideas for the future that we haven't even talked about yet. We definitely have things we're working on behind the scenes. I can't actually see it from here, but there's a stack of equipment I'm looking at. That's like a huge just pile of stuff.
So we have something that's in the works that we can't announce until all the contracts and stuff are dealt with and signed. We have the Kickstarter that we've been talking about for a while, and that could go anywhere from, well, we've wasted a lot of time and energy, to, hey, it just funded, or, oh my God, it did amazing, and all of our lives are vastly changed forever. So we really have no idea what's going to happen there.
Look to the Nerdarchy store where we're putting out more products. We just updated Fantastic Mounts. Which I have to go through all the people that bought it before and resend out the emails so you guys can get the updated version. The content hasn't changed. It's just we've added all new art.
We've added some art. We oriented the layout based off of feedback that we'd received, and it was justly applied feedback. So we have at least a dozen different projects, pure digital products that are in the works to some degree, either at the infinitesimal stages of just it's a thought to, hey, it's 90% complete and we just need to work on X, Y, and Z. So as these things become completed and edited and laid out, we'll announce them and put them up on the store. Our new plan for Patreon, we're hoping that the word will get out about that. I think the people that we have who are making the stuff for us based off our ideas have done a fantastic job. Doug is doing amazing layout. There's artwork that goes along with it, which is significantly better than what we were putting out before of just the straight blank PDFs.
Yeah, I mean now, like, we were putting out maybe 5 to 10 pages on the Patreon before, and now it's like 14 to 20.
Yeah.
Is kind of what it is, and the way it works is like each level, we're not gonna be like, this level is gonna be 3 pages. No, we don't know. Like, it just so happens, like, the information comes in and we break it up into the different sections and be like, we put it where we feel like it fits, not based on a price level,
Right.
And then so at $10 you get the whole thing, and look, we understand, like, It's as a PDF itself, it is not worth $10. $10 is you're supporting Nerdarchy and what we do, and this is our thank you for you doing that. We really appreciate that. So we wanted to give you something back, and for us, it's a lot of fun to do these videos where we make something and we send it out to a creator and be like, hey, we had some crazy ideas, and this is the kind of stuff we need to get out of it. Where do you see this going? And then they give it back. So that is a lot of fun for us. So we've had Sean McGovern do it so far. Doug has done it for us as well. Megan R. Miller is a novelist and also a writer for Nerdarchy. She's interested in doing one, so I definitely want to get her. I've talked to Lisa Chen about doing something when her schedule frees up.
And we just got
have
one
from Critical Hit Publishing. So they do some really cool stuff. And we're going to be constantly on the lookout for people that are creating already. And we're like, oh, you know what? We like your stuff, or you're someone we haven't interacted with and we'd like to, so here's a video. What can you guys send back?
So we do the preliminary video based off of, we come up with a topic, we talk about it, we tell them, okay, here's these 5 levels of things that we need to get out of it so that it does fulfill our Patreon blocks. And we see what they do, and it's just been amazing. If you're interested in checking it out, both on the website as well as it's up on the our Drive-Thru RPG, right? The Impusia.
The Impugia is on our website.
Yeah. So you can go to the website, download Impugia for free, and that's just a sampling.
There's actually a link in the description.
Oh, well, there you go. Down below. Isn't it the first thing?
It is. It is.
So you can download that. You can get an idea of what it is. I'm hard pressed to pick, which of the ones that we've gotten done is my favorite. I think Impugia would be a fantastic one to run play in. And who knows? Maybe I'll throw that out as the adventure for the next fan game that I run, which I think is sometime later this month.
So there's a couple questions. T-Time with Toby, how do you deal with playing a combat-focused character in more RP campaign? The DM wasn't exactly clear about the style of campaign. This is for Starfinder. Just because your character is geared towards combat has no effect on how much role-playing you choose or choose not to do. That's a choice from the player's standpoint. Unless you're talking about social interaction, exploration type stuff, where your skills and die rolls matter, but just role playing not so much. Think of Jane from Firefly, right? He gets lots of interactions and things going on inside the stories, even though he is essentially just a combat driven person.
Yep, he has desires, he has goals, he has interests of things that are going on, and. If you wind up watching that series, Jane has an awesome story arc, but yet if you were to look at him, from a Starfinder, perspective, he's a fighter. He's got the gun, and pew 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 is what he's really good at, and that's about it.
I think the idea is to role play through the lens of the combat oriented character. Like, how does that make him think? They're probably going to be very tactical. Possibly, or they could be very brutish if they're like a brawler. So that might actually just affect, how they interact with people.
Yeah, if you look at Avatar, the general, he's a soldier. That's exactly what you would expect, and he's got a direct line of thought towards his goal, and anything that deviates from that path, that's a problem. So you determine what are your mentals. And what is that going to allow you to do within the chosen spectrum of that mechanically made character?
Next little 88 question. Your hit dice to heroics is really good. Oh, thank you.
Thank you.
It was fun to make. Have you considered doing more for subclasses as they're released? What we've considered doing is actually going back and doing the races. Is what we're thinking of doing, and then maybe subclasses. I don't know.
I think it's really weird because the way we did the first set, not all of them are linking to subclasses. So things for your wizard, who in the player's handbook have 8 options, and the cleric, which have got, I think, like 6, if I remember correctly, but a bunch. And we were trying to do like 3 to 4. It just doesn't lend well towards doing for those alternative subclasses. So at this point in time, I wouldn't think that that's anywhere on our wheelhouse of options to do, but mayhaps sometime down the road that might be something we look at. But at this point in time, I would say no.
What Ted said. But yeah, who knows? I mean, one of the projects that's almost done is from 2016. We started doing our Patreon awards, and we had really revamped our Patreon. So we're taking all the Mage Forge for the latter half, because that's what it was, essentially 6 months, and we're putting that into a book. And you guys will be able to purchase that over on our on the website, on the store. We're just waiting for some more pieces of art. Doug's been doing the layout and editing of it, so that's getting really close to being done. So there will be a bunch of new magic items that you can plop right into your game. Some magic items, some mundane items, and they're all from basically from our Patreon from 2 years ago,
from 2016.
Yeah, and then we're gonna probably go through. We're gonna take each section and make it its own book. And we're gonna take our time releasing them. We don't want to just dump a bunch of stuff on you right away. And the other thing is, too, we want to make sure that our patrons right now are getting this stuff from us way before anyone else has the opportunity to get it.
Right.
So, yeah. So that's part of one of the perks. Fraginator, I disagree. I think the new format process as a lot of value. I'm super cheap and I enjoy the product. Happy to pay $10 for it. He's talking about the Patreon, which we're glad. We are glad. I just look at the marketplace for PDFs and what people, generally charge for them. So we just look at it as, you're supporting us. We get this cool thing to give you to say thank you. You're automatically, entered into the contest for our monthly giveaways, which our monthly giveaways are always usually $30 to $50, sometimes even more.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
What are you laughing at?
Says the general in Avatar was an awful character. He was an asshole for no reason. Yeah. So Frag wants to know: is there a discount for those who already have the Mage Forge but want it compiled?
You know what? I don't. We have that. That's why we're going so far back with it, and we're trying to overlap because we're trying to figure that out. Or if we're going to put some extra stuff in there.
That's an interesting question. We will have to ponder on that one.
Yeah, we have to think about it when we get to that.
Because
some of you guys have been around for a long time, which we really appreciate.
And those people who have are super awesome. Unfortunately, Patreon, at least as far as my playthroughs of the website, there isn't a diagram of, okay, well, this person, was here for this month and not for this month. Patreon just locks in how long you've been currently going and your total amount. So, you could be, I've been at the $10 level, but every other month my credit card gets declined. So it's going to list you as, over the last 20 months, I'm in there for half of that, but I've only been there for a month because it's every other month. So you're at $10, been there for 1 month, total of $100 given is all I'll say. So I have no way of knowing who's been what and where. So it would be very, very interesting, and we'll have to turn off the camera and discuss how we want to play with that.
Yeah, and obviously, you know what? If you've been supporting us on Patreon for a long time, just reach out to us privately, and we'll talk, and we'll figure something out. Obviously, we have a lot of love for you guys that've been around for a long time. As far as fans and sponsors, whatever, we use Easy Roller Dice. They've been with us since we were tiny, 5,000, 10,000 subscribers. So we will probably never move to another dice company as long as they want to keep sponsoring us.
Right.
Well, we'll stay with them, just because they're our Rusties.
Loyalty matters.
Yeah.
It goes both ways. So people are going to have the loyalty to us.
I just think it's funny that Zarif Gaming is on the chat and trying to get this kit now. Somebody in the chat has got to be a mechanic and can give you advice. Just take the car apart, drop the engine. We'll be able to make this happen. So we're at the halfway mark.
I was going to say that. So which one do we want to give away?
All right, guys. What do you want us to give away first? The monthly or the Mordenkainen's Tome of Foes? What do you think we should do? Decisions.
Yeah, we got lots of fun stuff.
Andrew Long, he just wants to know thoughts on a barbarian warlock. Warlock works with anything, and so does barbarian. Especially if you start with that as your first class.
Barbarian warlock. The way if you start off as a barbarian, perhaps, you've encountered something and there's a problem, and this thing offers you power. And let's face it, barbarians are all about, wanting power, or at least a lot of them that I've seen. And, they're usually dump some mental, so very easy to be persuaded. So, yeah. And you'd have a nice mix of, combat and, non-combat abilities. It's okay, well, I'm not into melee yet, so I can Eldritch Blast, and when I get into melee, I can totally mix it up with the Pact of the Blade.
Oh, I don't even remember if we did this one, but Nerdarchy says there's a video for that.
There's a video for Barbarian Warlock?
Barblock, yeah. So I don't know. All right, let's give away the monthly.
All right. So,
what do we got here? What are we giving away?
As previously stated, we got the decks of cards. You can hold them up.
We do.
We got the Open Legend. It's still sealed, but as always, if for some reason you want us to deface the book with a Nerdarchy signature, we can certainly do that. We got the decks of Boons and Banes to be able to make, running or playing that much easier. Open Legend is a fantastic system. We've met Brian here. You ran the awesome 13 part series game on the channel, and that is going to Carl Matson. So I will reach out to you, this afternoon, because we don't have a game tonight, and I will find out what address to send this to. And our usual deal is 2 weeks. So, yeah.
All right. So now we have the Tome of Foes. So I guess we'll start with let's start from the go from the bottom up. So
right.
We'll go with the standard edition covers first.
All right. So the first winner of a standard cover is Butterscotch Paradox.
Butterscotch Paradox. You'll be getting an email from us.
The second winner of the standard cover, and I'm sorry, I'm probably going to butcher this last name, but Roy Falekis, something along those lines. Now to our special edition covers. We have Mike Luttrell. We have Daniel Bowl. And we have Jackson Merker. So, thank you guys. Well, I can't say they're all guys. Thank you to those who have entered. 9,872 entries, if I remember correctly, from when we looked at it. Totally awesome.
This is like $150 to $250 worth of books here.
Let's see if I can quick do the math.
It depends if you pay retail or Amazon.
Right, yeah. So, yeah, it's a bunch.
And, I mean, we did get 2 copies for free
Right.
from Wizards of the Coast PR people. It's funny, guys. We, get these, and gals, we get these books. We actually, now we're at a point where we actually get all the books for free. But we usually just turn around and give them to you guys anyway and just buy them ourselves.
Right.
Because we like to support the hobby and support the companies that make the stuff we like. And we like to give you guys stuff. It's fun to give stuff away. It's like Christmas all the time.
So we got 2 copies for free, one of each. And then we bought extra copies so that we can do that much more of a giveaway, because you guys are truly awesome. And, if it weren't for you out there in, the world of the internet, we'd be sitting here just chatting with each other and staring at a stack of books that we bought for no reason.
Kenyatta, I was going to be really impressed if Dave held all 5 in one hand like cards. My hands aren't that big, man. It's kind of tough. I don't want to drop someone's book and ding them up. I mean, I can hold them all 5, but cards is a little tougher. I don't know. I don't want to ding them up. Yeah, there you go. Woo! It's more about balance.
And just like the Open Legend book, if for some reason any of these winners want their copy defaced with our signatures, we absolutely will. Don't understand why.
We got special pens and everything.
We do. We got, silver Sharpies and whatnot. But, we didn't write them. We're just giving them away.
I know, it is kind of weird whenever we sign stuff. It's like someone else wrote it. But so, it's all right. We're really close to having our own stuff that we'll be signing. But, yeah, so it's a good book. We just did... no, we didn't do it. We're just going to be doing our, the section on the elves. And it's a pretty big section. We're like, do we break this up like we did Blood War, or we do it together? I don't know. What's the difference between the UA elf stuff and these? So we're gonna be talking about that stuff in there.
So we're gonna wind up going through a brief overture of that section. Well, there's some definitely cool stuff, and I was certainly inspired by what I read. I just don't feel like going into it as much detail as we did with the Blood War.
It's not quite as worthy.
Yeah.
And also, it's very... but I do feel like this section is a good section for players, right? If you're playing an elf and you want to know how to roleplay an elf, kind of goes into that, gives the information on the deities and the different... what do I want to say? Not sections. Different... no. Brain work. Sorry, my brain is not working. Factions, different factions of elves.
Well, the different factions do fall into the sub-races, because it's all right, you've got the Saladrin and the Dark Saladrin, and then you've got the cast-off of the Raven Queen and her Darkai. It's all interesting, but they all do fall into, the own versions of the races. I do find it interesting, and I did find something where they contradicted themselves. In the very beginning, they're talking about, elves don't go through that whole, massive aging process. They tend to be, youthful and spry until the end of their life. They don't have all this long gray hair. And then you get to the one section, it's like, when they get old and have gray hair, and I'm like, what?
I think it said old and frail, but yeah, but it doesn't happen until like the very end.
Yeah, so I kind of need to read through that section a couple of times and find out whether their ducks were just not in a row or whether I just misread something.
Yeah. Living Skit. You should be able to go back and see. And, of course, if you are a winner later today, you will be receiving an email to let you know that if you won or not.
Yeah, I'll reach out. Share share the share the win. Let you guys know that I need the addresses to send the stuff to, and I'll be able to get it out.
Tea Time with Toby wants to know if we saw the Gunslinger from, I guess, their particular tumblers. I don't think so. I mean, we've looked at the one from Matt Mercer previously. Personally, if someone wanted to be really, really wanted to be a Gunslinger in my campaign, I would just modify Battlemaster, and I think it does everything I, as a player, would want it to do if I was playing a Gunslinger.
Well, the Gunslinger is a fighter archetype, and it is, loosely based off of Battlemaster, based off of it being seen in action on the first season of Critical Role. Yeah,
it's from the Pathfinder Gunslinger. They kind of converted that over because I believe that's what they're playing before.
Yeah.
But there were some things I liked about it. There were things I didn't like about it. I definitely liked the misfire, but I think it should have been a little more wonky, a little more random. I'd be all about that. The grid I was kind of meh on. Like I said, I think trick shots using Battlemaster maneuvers would work fine. I would change the tools. I would change Battlemaster gets a tool set, so that's easy. You just make it gunsmithing tools.
Well, he basically did it with Tinker Tools.
Yeah, well, yeah, you could do it with Tinker Tools.
Well, that's what they do in the game.
Yeah, well, I'm just saying how I would do it. I would just make gunsmithing tools. These are specific for that thing.
That would work. And then I know some of you guys out there who are critter fans, or our critters, however you want to look at it, that are interested in where I am. I finished episode 57 on Thursday, so I'm slowly moving along. The past week, I managed to make some significant headway. I chatted with one of you guys in the comments about how episode 52 was their favorite, and there was some cool backstory stuff that happened with Grog's character. So I thought that was pretty interesting to see some culmination there. He's slowly working in all the characters' backstories and into this ever flowing plot. And I think it's really well done.
They're dealing with and TTRPG Gaming is dealing with an emergency trying to get this cat out. That's why our cats are generally inside cats, so you don't have to worry about that nearly as. You have less stuff to worry about. I mean, there's always like string or thread or something you might have to worry about, but.
So we talk about a 5-figure vet bill. So what?
Yeah, Ted had some issues with some pets.
Yeah, just one back in October. Still paying for it.
Forever. You could have started a cat farm.
Oh, easily.
2 cat farms. Elf-Fate, by the way, D&D Beyond commercial is awesome. 80s goodness. Yeah, I thought that was pretty well done.
I have to say I've watched it more than half a dozen times since it first appeared to me yesterday.
Ted just keeps watching it over and over. Did you show your kids?
I showed Teddy. Yeah, he thought he was blown away. They aired it during Critical Role for the launch Thursday night. And then before they really get into the game, they wind up playing it again. And it was one of those things that, I honestly thought, I want to go back and watch it again. So the fact that they were all of the same opinion, I was like, okay, well, I'm not too far gone. and then they air it again during the break. So I watched it 3 times during the process of watching Critical Role. And then it's kind of appeared through my Facebook feed a couple of times since then. And this morning, as I'm, just kind of milling about, it showed up in my feed again, and I watched it twice. I'm like, yeah, I'm an orc. Call me what you will.
It was well done, Ted. I mean, I think I only watched it. I think I watched it once on Facebook, and then I watched it during the show. But that was sufficient for me. It was cool enough where I was like, I'm not good, because we always watch Critical Role like the day after, so we're like skipping the commercials and stuff like that.
Right.
So yeah, I definitely didn't. I didn't stick around for the rest of the commercials, but I let that play. I was like, yeah, I'll watch this again.
Not, you didn't stick around for all the PSAs that they did.
Oh, yeah, I did see the one PSA. Marisha got me. I didn't click fast enough, and she drew me in to what to do with your
Amazon Prime.
Your Amazon Prime subscription.
Because 5 out of 5 people have keep it going because
they forget
that they have an Amazon Prime account. Because now they don't bill monthly; they bill you for the year.
Yes, so. That's always for as long as I've been doing it. It's been for the year.
As soon as they launched the program, I was in it. So
I thought I was too, but I don't remember a monthly bill.
Let's see here. Any other questions?
Well, Fragginator is suggesting a garden hose for the cat. Flood it out.
That could work.
Or you're going to drown the cat because it's legitimately stuck.
So, Tea Time with Toby says he prefers Campaign 1 over Campaign 2. There's definitely some justification there. I think the thing to look at is Campaign 1, the characters were 9th level when Episode 1 started. So you already have all of the backstory of the individual characters and, essentially 8 levels worth of them adventuring together. So there's a lot of build-up and a lot of things already going on that we then get to uncover and find out about. Now, with this one, even though we're only, 21 episodes in, it's something where we're still building trust amongst the characters. They're still trying to figure out exactly who they are. There's stuff that only Matt knows that the characters don't know. There's stuff that the characters know that they're not willing to share with everyone else. So once all of those walls get broken down and the characters start really interacting more with each other, and yes, I know based on the episodes that I'm watching how ridiculous that statement sounds. Like we're going to see a lot more emotional investment in each other as characters, as opposed to just the okay, well, I'm going to do this because I want to do that.
Kenny Pauls wants to know, which is your favorite Campaign 2 character?
Right now, Kiri.
Good call.
Like. There is, while Not and Jester have been my top 2, and everybody else has kind of floated up and down. Him bringing in a baby Kenku is got to be the most hysterical thing.
I'm going to be playing Kenku, starting the 8th in. Grant Ellis at Wise Papa on Twitter he's doing a Twitch game.
Okay.
And it's like going to be a 3-series. It's just going to be a 3-series campaign.
3 series or 3 sessions?
3 sessions.
Okay.
Series of 3 sessions. There you go. I'm going to be playing a Kenku Beastmaster.
Nice.
I think I'm going to go with a flying snake. Urchin background.
Nice.
And I'm going with it was an urchin and it kind of lived and
near a bird shop, right?
Yeah, outside of the exotic pet shop in the city, and it learned to talk by listening to exotic birds talk.
That is awesome. So you're gonna be talking in a bird's voice.
Yeah, except for the name. The character's name is gonna be "Get out of here." So every time the character introduces themselves, they'll introduce themselves angrily. Get out of here.
In the shopkeeper's voice.
In the shopkeeper's voice, yes.
Oh, that is fantastic. So, part of me would love to, game with this whole, rig as a Kenku, where I'm recording all the stuff, and I would just, cut up all these sound bites and be able to just be like, ooh, doo, 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 and, plug in, oh, well, this is this person saying this, or this is that person saying that. But I think it takes more, more tech power than I have, and more time than I want to give, and, probably more capabilities than I actually have. But I think it'd be fantastic. So as opposed to me saying, oh, I say this in his voice, it's literally, I've already pre-recorded that because you said it in the campaign 2 sessions ago. But, getting back to the question, Kiri repeating, or, essentially Matt mimicking the other actors' voices and doing the lines. He's done a spectacular job with it. So right now, totally on a pedestal is this 4-year-old Kenku.
Yeah. That's like the best part. They gave it the knife.
I kill people.
It's going to totally stab us. Dave, you have to say nevermore at least once. It could happen. That's for sure. Although Ted's idea that for the tech stuff would probably be annoying for the other players eventually, especially depending on the choices of sounds.
Yeah. It's a pipe dream. It's never going to happen. It's just something that I wish it could. Yeah.
So Nod is still my favorite character. Not the Brave.
Not the Brave. Or not Bryn this past episode.
Not Bryn, yeah. And we did see, I think we're slowly but surely getting more character development out of these characters. The last 3 sessions, Bo's characters had a lot of development, and you're seeing some of the real Bo come out. I feel like a lot of it's like a facade that she tries to put on.
I'm still intrigued. I really liked Mercy's character from campaign 1, but I'm really not feeling Bo. Yasha is still a little dry, so sadly those two are kind of at my bottom.
Well, yeah, with the Bo character, it's I'm always swinging back and forth between is the bro thing annoying or is it working? I don't know. And that goes from scene to scene. The Caleb character that is not super intriguing to me. Neither is I like the Caleb not dynamic. Caleb's character's coming along, but it wasn't until recently that it was really doing anything for me.
Liam really gets into the emotional stuff, and I'm not even halfway through the episodes of campaign 1, but he's really gone to great lengths in that one with just playing a rogue, and I was blown away. For a while, Percy was my favorite character. Talison's Gunslinger, but the relationship, the pseudo triangle between his sister, played by Lara, and Keyleth. There's this weird thing going on that it's a pretty powerful thing, and I'm really enjoying that.
I was laughing at the commercials. Elf Bait too close to home from being from Jersey, with Liam. So yeah. But as a whole, it works. It's a lot of fun. I know. Early on you didn't care for the Molly Muck character as much, and I liked him. I always thought
he's been climbing. He's definitely moved up through the ranks.
He's the less shitty of them. I think the least shitty of the group as a whole.
When he's trying to get not more on the straight and narrow, I think he's far more intriguing. As I said, Percy was my favorite character in the first campaign for a while, and when he essentially cleared his backstory, it was wow, it was really amazing.
I have a question for you in the chat. I'll pose it to everyone at once. So we are going to be making some changes in how we do videos and stuff, and we really want to amp up the production value and just do better videos, right? So I'm wondering if, in the future at some point, instead of doing pre-recorded us talking about Critical Role, if you guys might want us to do it live instead, where we do a live thing and we can interact and we can talk about it you guys can ask questions, and we'll stay on whatever episode we're slated to be on. But instead of doing a recorded thing where me and Ted just kind of like kick it back and forth like we've been doing, where we involve you guys and we can take questions and talk about it, instead.
Yeah, I mean that could totally work. As we've said, off camera we are looking into changing our format. Which if we're looking to have the same number of videos, we'd have to find ways to make that happen. So Critical Role could absolutely be something that we just record, or not record, but we do it as a live chat, and we'd then be able to get feedback from the fans out there and be able to pose questions and answer, and I think that would actually go really well.
Yeah, Josh on Journey, you guys have had some pretty high quality stuff lately, and I think a lot of people don't realize that right now our Monday videos are like 3-camera shoots with someone else, a different editor, a different production, everything's different there. It's kind of the same content we've been doing, but we've poured a lot more into it, and we are going to be doing a lot more videos that way. The only thing with shooting videos like that, it's harder to do as many as we do with that same production value. So we're definitely not going to be able to do 10 like that, and 5 would still be really hard. So we might do like Mondays, Wednesdays, and Fridays, and we got something else cooking too, which would push it out another day. But it's a little soon to talk about that. Nate's been working on a special project, and once we get closer, we'll definitely let you guys in on that.
Like we said in the beginning, there's always so much stuff going on behind the scenes here that you guys just don't know about. And it sucks to not be able to be like, oh my God, there's this, and there's this, and there's all these things.
Yeah. Kyle else, the Monday videos are good, but the first one jumped between close-ups too much, and some of that is like us learning to use the more cameras. Some of that is the editors cleaning up the audio so we don't sound like morons. and what happens is to do that, they have to make cuts, and that'll happen. And I even see like with WebDM, watching those guys, if Travis has to make a bunch of cuts, it does the same thing. I've seen people complain about that in the chat. But it's just one of those things. It's like you have to choose between like the bouncing back and forth, or do you want super clean audio? So it's tough. But yeah, so that's definitely some things we're working on. We want to do.
So Tea Time with Toby wants to know why we haven't checked out High Rollers yet.
There is so many stream games out there to watch that we would want to watch. That means we would like not be able to create any more content.
We would just be watching, nonstop, and like it is a massive endeavor for me to, have committed myself to going and watching all of campaign 1 of Critical Role, and I think there's like 140 some episodes. Now I know some of that is like things broken up into part 1 and part 2 because of technical issues, but I know that there's over 100 episodes. So like with me, being able to start, 58 on Monday, because I can't watch when I got the stream of many eyes to watch too. This weekend, it's gonna be rough, and I know there's a game I'm really interested in watching tonight, and another one tomorrow on the stream of many eyes that I definitely want to be able to pay attention to. So there's a lot of great D&D content out there to consume, and that's even with me not being able to watch all of Ingest Quest and Scarlet Sisterhood, and like these are things that I would really enjoy watching. I know, but I gotta make choices, and there's only so much time.
James Leslie, I approve this message.
If you guys are going to do a live thing with Crit Roll, you have to do it like the old guys from the Muppets.
They're like some of my favorite Muppet characters for sure. I think if you like delved into people that stream and create content, what you'll find is most of them do not watch a lot of other people's content. Especially stream games, because they're games. They're 3 to 5 hours long, and doing a bunch of them. I know, like Sean McGovern, he like reviews a bunch of them on his on his blog, and you know, I know he's got a show that where he does Dice Action Camera for the D&D channel on Twitch. And I don't know, like, and I think he watches a bunch of them, and I don't know how he gets it all in. I know for a while Doug was watching a bunch too, but he kind of has like a day job where he can kind of, you know, move around boxes and watch different shows, because he did a bunch of write-ups on the website for different shows.
Right.
But yeah, like I said, like I've got several friends that are currently streaming games that I wish I had time to watch. You know, Devil's Luck Gaming. I would love to check them out and watch what they're doing over there. They're using 5th edition Dungeons and Dragons to play Warhammer Fantasy, which is really cool. Cassandra Lee was also already a cosplayer that I was a fan of. So I would, and they do it in person and they all dress up. So they got great production value over there. I'd love to watch more Maze Arcana games for sure. I mean, we're friends with Satine and Rudy.
Absolutely, yeah.
So, you know, so there, you know, WebDM is doing a bunch of stuff now. So there is just so much D&D out there. It's like impossible to keep up with it. And you know, and also some other games like Monty Cook Games. They're doing Invisible Sun and Numenera.
Yeah, and then Mike from Unmade Gaming, who, you know, ran the Saber Dice game for Numenera, like, he's constantly running games over on Twitch, and he was a really good GM, you know, for the game that I was in. So I would like to be able to watch other stuff that he's done, and, you know, but where's the time? Like, you know, that's more than a dozen games right there that we've mentioned, and there's no time to watch it all. Like,
yeah, when you think of like Encounter Roleplay, I think they stream. I think Will says he streams like 60 hours a week. So like that's a lot of games right there. You have D&D Twitch every day of the week. You know, Maze Arcana, they do a bunch of games. So I mean, even we do, you know, generally at least 2 games a week. So there is a ton of content out there.
So with that, we've actually crossed that threshold.
Score. You know what that means, folks? I get to go have lunch.
So thank you guys for hanging out with us. You know, check out the links for all the stuff down below. Get the emails out for these giveaways. So
congrats to the winners.
Congrats to the winners. Better luck next time for those that didn't. So until next time,
stay nerdy.